Again, brothers and sisters, one of the persons I omitted earlier to acknowledge is Reverend Boyce. Reverend Boyce is...
Reverend Boyce.
Yeah, Reverend Boyce is the assistant pastor at Tremont. Yes. I'm sorry that I didn't do what I should have done. Recognize you because you're worth a whole lot. You see, I don't go into this habit of not recognizing clergy persons when they are present. Not because I'm a clergy person, but maybe because I'm a clergy person. You see, I know the kind of work that goes in to be effective. And whenever you have effective persons around, you need to recognize them and to encourage them. So I want to recognize Reverend Boyce. Brothers and sisters, this event has gone on because persons had the courage to take it through to the end. And so I want to thank all the members of the Awards Banquet Committee and all those who helped them to see to it that this happened. There were times we were thinking maybe not this year, but persons had the courage and they said, let's go with it. And we went with it, and it has turned out to be one of the most successful that we've had. So thank you, Awards Banquet Committee. If you're here, just stand up. You know who you are. Persons took responsibility for different areas of the work that made the work much lighter. So we're thankful for that. I usually say to persons that this year might be the last year we spend in this particular facility. Not because we're running from it, but many times if you're not running from something, you're running to something. And so in a real sense, we are transitioning towards something that I believe is still greater because it's in our future. And so the work we seek to do together will land us in the New Jerusalem. I say to persons, the New Jerusalem we talk about is not Beulah land. Now if you know Beulah land, that's waiting for you. But the New Jerusalem really has to do with the life that is being anticipated. Yes. The new things that we believe God will be doing with us. Not only to impact community, but to impact even ourselves and the way we see ourselves related to community. So I want to thank all the folk here at Westchester for not just simply acknowledging my leadership, but for following my leadership. I've been in ministry, it doesn't mean I'm this old, by the way. I've started my 31st year in ministry. See how you look young after those days? It's not because I'm old, but because I hang with persons who are weighty that I continue to look this. Right, Miss B? Right. All right. But yeah, I really appreciate Westchester because I have said to persons in all those years, these 5 years now that I've spent at Westchester have been the best 5 years of ministry. Yeah. And if I have to walk away from this, I'll walk away with a full heart. Because I know that these last 5 years have been really the crowning years. Yeah. And so I thank you for your willingness and openness to make that happen. So I want to thank everybody. The food was prepared by Brother Chapman and the group. Yes. And you notice there were a whole lot of hands involved in the process. And so want to thank them. The bulletin you have was put together after typed and put together by Samantha and Taj and JT. under the supervision of Reverend Fairweather. So I want to thank all of you who were involved in that. Yes. And all of those, the guy who prepared was primary in getting the meal together, Brother Chapman. But we thank the entire group for the work that they have done. Persons were handling tickets, right? Sister Wright and Sister Williams. The lay leader was here during the week from Sunday, coming, staying late. This morning she went home and came back this afternoon. Now she doesn't live in New York, she lives in New Jersey. So when people tell me that they live on Long Island and it's too far, I let them know we have people from New Jersey. And we have people from Connecticut too. So there's no place in New York that is so far that you can't come visit us. So I'm happy that you came this evening and the work that you have done. Yes, Sister Carmen, she has been involved in going around getting purchasing and all of that kind of thing. And decorating, by the way. You see how things coordinate and all of that kind of thing? All the persons who had involvement in that. I want to thank you because your work did not go unnoticed. You remember Sister Davis was sitting and cleaning and polishing and stripping and all of that kind of thing. It's not that we try to work out trustees beyond measure. But we are happy that she did avail herself in the way she did. Everybody, Sister Clark, everybody, thank you. I know last night I was here for a while. Brother John is always here. And he comes early and he's late. And for a long while last night, it was only Brother John as the only male. And then another male showed up who shall remain nameless to support and encourage. But yes, thank you. And if I didn't mention you by name, it doesn't mean that I'm simply saying you weren't of any value or worth. So I'm including you under this rubric that yes, you are thanked. We appreciate the work you did to make this happen. And as we look toward the future, we pray that you'll do with tremendous hope. Of course, Charles Hill and company. Let me tell you something. If you go on umc.org, you're going to see a clip there about Westchester, featuring the steel pan. And the first person to talk on that clip is Charles. And let me tell you something, you would have thought that Charles was rehearsed. How old are you, Charles? 11. Charles, and then you had, oh gosh, I forget his name now. The other Palma. Shane. Those two guys, how old is Shane, Sister Vicky?
He'll be 8 next month.
He'll be 8 next month. Let me tell you something. These two guys, when you listen to that clip, you're going to say, Westchester is flying high. These two guys, the way they represented, the testimony they gave. You know, I said to persons, the guy, I was trying to point out to Reverend Hodge, who the person was that did that piece. He said, the reason I come to Westchester is to worship God, to celebrate God, and play the band. But that's only a piece of it. He talked about, later on, he spoke about the gift and making your gift. Let me tell you something, the guy could preach. Literally. He talked about how if you have your gift, you have to use it for the Lord. Hear me, man. I was so proud of these kids. So proud of them. And we heard that one person as well had the gift of music.
Yes.
And you will see her when you look at the clip, right, Casey? No, but I tell you, that's a good clip. And the good thing about it is that no matter where you are in the world, you can access it. So once again, thank everybody for their involvement and may God continue to bless you.